It's a heartwarming goodbye to the great Aaron Donald as he retires from the Los Angeles Rams. Uh, James, when you heard about this, like, what were you thinking?
I'm gonna miss seeing his highlight plays. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
He was just so much fun to watch.
yeah, definitely. This defensive tackle, he just announced it last week. And this was really shocking for a lot of people because he's still in his early 30s, and we wasn't expecting him to, even though, what age do you think is really for retirement on the defensive end? What age do you kind of think is like reasonable? You think?
That's a really good question because line play is hard.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe defensive linemen retire a lot earlier than offensive linemen,
yeah,
and that's because they get hit on every play.
yeah. Concussions, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, their body goes through a lot at a point in time, and
O line though, they're also really nasty, and they have to be if they have to stop these defensive
defensive
players. But
players, yeah.
they've talked about getting punched in the stomach, things like that by the
Oh,
O linemen. So
oh yeah,
you
it's a lot.
know,
Yeah, it's a lot for sure. And just to get us started, man, how loyal was Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald to the Rams? You think? Because I mean, he was with that team for 10 years. He didn't. When he had the option to opt out, he didn't.
Donald gave the Rams everything that he had.
Yeah,
And he didn't leave anything on the field. You can go and check out his highlights, the Pro Bowls that he's made, his
yeah,
first team All Pros. He was the star.
yeah. He was one of the most loyal defensive players I've seen. Uh, for 10 years, that's a long time. That's a long time, and it's other players that have probably been like, "Nah, man, I gotta do something else. I gotta go to where the winning team is at." But he kind of already believed in them so much, even from transitioning to St. Louis to Los Angeles. Most players would have been like, "Okay, this is my option to leave right here. We're transitioning. I can go." He's like, "Nah, I'm down."
And especially after losing that Super Bowl, too, from the 2018 season, they
Yeah,
lost to the Patriots.
yeah.
He could have retired right there and still had a really decent career, but
These
he just a few years later they won the
They
Super Bowl.
won it. Yeah, they won it. And I remember that time and era because I was actually going against them, their team. But he played a big part for them for sure. So that kind of goes into our next question, man. Without Donald defensive play style and work, would it have been harder for the Rams on the defensive side?
Of course. Sometimes he was taking on three offensive linemen at once
Yeah,
and beating triple teams.
yeah,
His combination of strength and speed too was something that I don't think I've seen from any other player in the league.
yeah,
And the fact that he even kind of played undersized a little bit is what a lot of people said because he was only about 6 foot.
yeah, yeah.
So
He
to be able to compete with people who were like 6'7",
six
these
seven
offensive
and
linemen,
yeah, it's that just shows he didn't. It didn't matter. Yeah, it would have been more difficult without him playing because his defensive technique and toughness was just unmatched, man. Um, in the famous saying, "Offense wins games, but defense wins championships." And he understand. Like we always talk about that with every sport, with every that's what's gonna show it. Cause if you're playing against another good team, that's what's gonna really show out the most.
and watching him attack the O line too and trying to get to the quarterback, he was going through like a bowling ball.
Oh
I mean, there
yeah,
was no stopping him.
yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. He was determined. And if we kind of just look at his stats and achievements, kind of what you were saying, like 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time First Team All Pro, 10-time Pro Bowler, and he got a Super Bowl ring under his belt. So, I mean, that's enough for the resume right there. If he wanted to stop, because I mean, he still could have kept playing, but I mean, that's enough for you to stop right there. To
Oh,
be
of
honest,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, but he kept going and
Yeah. Um, and one of his famous statements was, throughout my career, I have given my everything to football, but both mentally and physically, dedicated 365 days, about 12 months of the year, to the game. So, and James, I was kind of watching one of his recent interviews, and he kind of was just saying, he still has that love for the game, but it's just like I think it was more so his body kind of telling him to
that's time
that it's
and
time. It's a wrap. But I mean, he did a lot of work, so I mean, it really didn't matter.
Well, and as you had mentioned too, he went with that transition from St. Louis to Los
St. Louis,
Angeles, which
exactly.
the way that I kind of viewed that was a major positive because they no longer have to deal with those Midwestern winters, and you get all that sunshine there in Los
Sunshine, yeah, it's
Angeles.
a whole different, and he was able to adapt to that weather change, to the just everything. So yeah, and just to kind of end us off, man, based off this statement I just said and his achievements with the Rams, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We will see a bust of him pretty soon. I think within just a few years, he's going to be voted in as soon as he can be.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's no question. Definitely gonna be a Hall of Fame just based off of his accomplishments and just everything he's done. Not even reaching the age of 40. That's big. It's a big thing, and a lot of defensive players can't say that. So, like I said, we're rooting for him. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about Aaron Donald. I can't wait to see the ceremony though. But I'm gonna pass it over to my co-host James. What else we got?
J&J Sports coming to y'all with more in 2024.